The top stories: 200 workers to go from the NCC, the $500 tickets for Top Gear have been sold out, and the parental beaten video causes outrage in Trinidad. Welcome to Nation News for Wednesday, April the 23rd, 2014.
Introducing the all-new Rubigas LPG composite bottle from Rubis. These exclusive 22-pound bottles weigh 50% less than traditional steel cylinders and can be used for picnicking and day-to-day home needs. These composite bottles are translucent, allowing you to see the liquid level at all times, so you will never run out of gas unexpectedly. Lightweight, visible gas level, portable, corrosion-proof, eco-friendly. The Rubigas LPG composite bottle, available from Rubis.
The Barbados Workers Union says it has been able to save more than 50 jobs at the National Conservation Commission, but close to 200 workers will still be out of a job at the end of the month. Both sides met for about 3 hours to negotiate on the job cuts mandated by the government across the public sector. General Secretary of the Barbados Workers Union, Sir Roy Trotman, said far too many people were going home from the NCC, which is responsible for maintaining public parks, beaches and gardens. However, Sir Roy noted that from the outset the government had made it clear it did not have the money to sustain staff numbers. The National Union of Public Workers has also claimed success in reducing layoffs at the NCC. High costs have forced the Ministry of Commerce to take its price comparison figures online rather than in newspapers. The ministry has launched a new database which allows consumers to compare prices at 21 supermarkets. Minister of Commerce Donville Innes said press advertisements were costing government $200,000 a year, therefore making the investment in the database more cost-effective and in line with modern times.
I must emphasize that in an era where consumers are technologically driven and very computer savvy, now is the opportune time to have the prices of basic food commodities presented electronically, as we're now doing through the launch of this database. I will hasten to acknowledge that there are some persons who do not now have ready access to technology and will be challenged to embrace it. I guarantee you that over time, these persons will come on board and adapt to the new technology.
The top tickets costing up to $500 have been selling well, say the organizers of the Top Gear Festival to be held at Bushy Park on the third weekend in May. The latest news is that the rebuilt Bushy Park track is just about finished, although a number of ancillary facilities are still to be completed. Formula One driver Lewis Hamilton will be the star name at the festival, which is shown on the BBC and around the world. Mark Hamilton, the spokesman for the company behind the multi-million-dollar upgrade of Bushy Park, told Nation News that thousands of tickets had already been sold for the 2 days of racing. The top VIP tickets at $500 and $200 are sold out, or nearly so, while the cheapest at $75 are going steady at Bajan pace, you might say. The Top Gear Festival, as fans will know, will also feature the Global Rallycross season opener, with one of the main drivers being the former Formula One driver Nelson Piquet Jr. The American network NBC will show the Barbados Rally, tape delayed. Political activist and attorney at law Bobby Clark took to Swan Street to express his frustration with the government's economic policies. He also expressed concern about the opposition Barbados Labour Party as an alternative administration in these difficult times. Mr. Clark called on Barbadians to march against the Frundle-Stewart government. William Bill Stewart is looking for a few good men, specifically the men who helped him raise the Potomac from the coordinate in 1962. The New York native is here seeking recognition for the people responsible for restoring the former American presidential yacht, which became a ferry boat in Barbados. The ship is now a part of a museum in California. In fact, since it opened to the public in the summer of 1995, more than 250,000 people have visited and sailed aboard what former President Franklin Delano Roosevelt called the floating White House. According to Mr. Stewart, hardly anything was being told of the people who are really behind its recovery from the careenage, so he plans to write a tell-all book. But first, he wants to help and find the Bajan men who helped. In regional news, a Facebook video making the rounds in Trinidad is drawing outrage. It shows a woman beating her daughter with a belt after the 12-year-old allegedly posted indecent pictures of herself on the site. A child protection advocate described the video as vicious, brutal, and sadistic. She said that While she could understand why the mother was upset, her response was an example of very poor parenting skills. Ahead of St. Lucia's budget early next month, Roman Catholic Archbishop Robert Rivas has called for a decisive plan to tackle youth unemployment, which he sees as one of the most serious issues facing the island. The Archbishop says the youth are suffering. In sport, the Barbados Carifta track and field team is back home after picking up 16 medals at Martinique Games over the Easter weekend, 5 gold, 5 silver and 6 bronze, which put the team in 3rd place behind Jamaica, the overwhelming champions, and Trinidad and Tobago. At least Barbados had the outstanding athlete, Akila Jones, whose 3 gold medals landed her the Austin Seeley Trophy. The Carifta spotlight has moved from track and field in Martinique to swimming in Aruba, where Barbados won 3 gold among 8 medals on the opening day. Hannah Gill secured the first medal at the championships, a gold in the 800 meters freestyle. Christian Selby won the 1500 meters freestyle, while Sabrina Holder, competing in her final Carifta, took the 3rd gold of the day in the 100 meters butterfly. And finally, a man charged with first-degree murder in Kansas in the United States is afraid the tattooed mirror image letters spelling out the word murder across his neck might prejudice a jury. So he's asking for a professional tattoo artist to remove or cover it up. Prosecutors say they aren't opposed to Jeffrey Chapman covering his tattoo, but the county sheriff says he's against transporting Chapman to a licensed tattoo facility, the only places tattoo artists are allowed to practice under Kansas law. His attorney says in a motion the tattoo would be extremely prejudicial if seen by a jury. What do we say? Definitely can. That's Nation News, and we definitely say your news, your time, your way.